America's rising vegan chefs face off in 3 rounds of compassionate cooking. This is the 100% vegan cooking competition, where the clock is ticking and the heat is on. Our celebrity judges don't hold back.
Tastes aren't there, it's not fully cooked.
And I'm getting just a lot of fermented cabbage.
Only one will win the trip to Costa Rica with a stay at Mother Earth Vegan Hotel. Who will be peeled into the compost?
We're looking for the best vegan chef.
And who will be named America's hottest vegan chef?
Welcome, chefs, and congratulations on making it to the next round of this competition. So, who among you is going to be the hottest vegan chef, and who will be peeled into the compost? Let's find out. I'm here specifically to give you support and guide you through the competition. And as usual, my beautiful friend, Dr. Shabna, is going to keep you informed on all the details you'll need to make it through the competition.
Congratulations, chefs. Before I tell you about your next challenge, let's say hello to your judges. International restaurateur and celebrity chef Josie Clemens. Southern baker with a twist, celebrity chef Chris Tucker. Host of Plant-Based Business Hour, New Day New Chef Executive Producer, and CEO of VegTech Invest, Elizabeth Alfano. A pioneer in the vegan culinary industry, Sophie's Kitchen CEO, Dr. Miles Woodruff. For this challenge, you will be making the entree of your 3-course meal. You will be preparing a hearty, classic dish of your choice featuring a wide variety of exotic mushrooms from Atomic Farms to choose from.
Remember, you can use your badge to get what you need from the Peel Pantry, and as usual, it's always stocked with fresh produce, herbs, spices, plant proteins, and grains.
Chefs, all of your components must be arranged on 4 separate plates for your judges. When your time is up, you must step away from your stations. This is a 45-minute challenge.
The sky's the limit for all 3 of you talented chefs, so use your imagination to transform your mushrooms and show these plants who's boss.
Chefs, are you ready?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, on your marks. Get set. Your 45 minutes starts now.
Good luck, chef.
Go, chefs!
Oh, come on, let's split it. I had a feeling. Let's split it.
They're fighting already. I love
love
it.
you.
Let's go.
I love you.
We're gonna see how this goes. There's a lot to fight over when you're working with mushrooms.
Someone's grabbing a bunch of stuff over there.
Really interested to see how they use the different components of the mushrooms and the different mushrooms themselves. They all have different properties and can fit into dishes in very different ways.
So do you know about the mushrooms that they're using today?
Yeah, they have lion's mane and then 2 variants of oyster mushrooms.
It's going to be really cool to see what they do because we can really create all kinds of things using mushrooms. So they have the lion's mane. If they want to try to replicate like a really beautiful seared steak, they're going to be able to do that. They have these incredible black pearl trumpets. If they want to create something like a seared scallop dish, they're going to be able to do that. Chefs, I want you to listen up. Today, it's important for you to keep your stations clean. That's going to translate into keeping your brain clean and keeping the plate clean. So make sure you're focused.
No, I love what you say about mushrooms. Mushrooms are meaty, mushrooms are umami, mushrooms have texture. Mushrooms to me really are life.
On the lion's mane, there is a kind of a seafood flavor to some lion's mane.
Right.
So they could really take that in a different direction than steak and really go in a seafood direction with that. There could be a
Also
really
chicken.
interesting
When you deep fry
seafood
when you deep fry a lion's mane, it tastes just like chicken.
Yeah, you can do a good nugget with that.
I love that you say this, but I think this dish more than any of the others previously requires strategy ahead of time. The execution isn't going to be what takes them so long here as much as it's going to be, what am I going to create that's completely novel from these beautiful mushrooms?
But today they have the calm, they have the time, everything's on their side to set them up for success.
The nerves were here, right? The nerves were really playing a part.
The nerves were very present.
Yeah, they were really playing a
And
part.
understandably so.
In fact, I think the nerves were the main ingredient in
I
some
think
of the
they were.
dishes that we
They
were
totally
served
were.
previously.
Brendan's presented to us.
You know?
Yeah.
I don't think mushrooms should really be cooked on that high of heat either. And as much as you love a deep fried mushroom, personally, I can't stand it.
I feel like
If I'm
my
presented,
thing is not turning on.
I've got an issue with those burners.
Okay. Problems in the kitchen.
it might be the water. Where's the towel? This one's working.
You know, again, with the lion's mane is going to take a lot longer to break down. We're going to want to get a good sear on that. Maybe finish it in the oven.
She's so nervous. She's so precise.
Listen up, Chef. Chef Miles and I will be coming around visiting the stations, but just carry on. Please do not stop.
I feel like to see a little bit of what you're doing today.
Yes. I think I'm going to be making pasta for you today.
Mm.
So a little take on like a creamy pasta with some mushroom in there. I think, yeah, and prepping the mushroom in different ways so that the cuts are interesting and the textures are different. So I think that's what I'm going for.
I'm looking forward to seeing how you do that.
Thank you.
All right. Let's see what's happening over here.
All right, so we got some beet juice and then a cookie full of couscous. It's a nice bright purple color. So it'll be two kinds of grains, and the second one is going to be quinoa. So
Maybe this is just for
It's like you might want to keep an eye on the onions.
make it steamy.
yeah.
My
And
water's
we got a
still
little
not
quinoa, and
boiling.
then toast a little bit with this garlic and onions. To bring out the flavor of it, and then season it with the salt. We're gonna go, so it's got a little bit of flavor. All right, and pepper.
Yep.
Okay. And then we're gonna
It should be
this
hot by now.
quinoa,
It's not
like
getting
risotto
hot.
style.
It says it's at 16.
And
It's
I'm
not
gonna
working.
blend it with roasted yellow
I'm
pepper.
gonna
So we're gonna have a bright red color and a bright yellow color, kind of give a little contrast.
Love that.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Good luck today. Everything on and running okay now?
Not sure. Not sure.
If I were you, I'd get rid of some of that water.
Yeah.
From the skillet.
What do you have going on over here?
I'm trying to just boil some water so I can get these softened up. I'm
Yep.
kind of doing a maitake steak here, and I'm hoping to get a nice cauliflower puree on this.
Yep.
Yeah. Waiting for water to boil though, and it's not, and it should. Hers is boiling. So I'm a little concerned.
So how are you going to manage the volatility of the cooking equipment right now so that you can still get it out in time and stay on top of that?
To be honest, I might have to come up with a completely different plan B if that water doesn't boil, because I'm not going to be able to get these soft enough.
Yep.
I wish we had a pair of tongs too.
Yep.
No tongs.
Yeah, those are tweezers, aren't they?
Those are tweezers.
Yep. Well, yeah, tongs is probably a great thing for chefs to have, yeah. All right, well, good luck. Good luck with
Thank you.
the water. I'm
Thank
looking forward
you.
to it.
Thank you.
Can you believe we put chefs in the kitchen without tongs? Well, we
Okay,
did.
Miles, what did you discover in the kitchen?
I discovered that these people have been working without tongs, which I think
Okay,
is
not
a
fair.
master chef effort right there too. But I'm really excited about just the variation and how each of them is handling the mushrooms.
Are you feeling that they were confident today in the kitchen?
Yeah, today I'm noticing more chefy angst. Like it's not jitters, it's like that chef rage inside coming out
I'm
more.
familiar.
Yeah.
You have to get plates on the table. And
I got to get stuff done, and today they understand that it's only them that's going to put it on the plate.
You know, again, like we've already lost 16 minutes of that. You know,
Yeah.
so the time really does just go by so quick.
You guys, there's a little bit of frustration coming from Chef Nicole. She's having some words with her equipment, so I see the chef kind of going into a new zone in her head.
But that
Do you want to check?
Using tweezers instead of tongs would frustrate anybody.
Right, fair enough.
what's going on? Everything okay with your equipment?
I don't know. That never worked. So
This one's not working.
it just never worked. But put that over there. Hopefully it's boiling, but that kind of makes me scared because it's not by me.
It's
Is it boiling?
there's steam coming out, but it's not at a rapid boil.
Okay.
We have chili
Is it
flakes
on
anywhere?
high? Can it be on a rapid boil?
We had those yesterday. I don't see them anymore. Oh, got it. Thank you so much.
How are you, Chef Donald? Everything working okay?
Yes.
Yeah, he just needs plastic.
Plastic wrap?
No, they're
Plastic
coming.
wrap?
They're coming with
Okay.
it, honey. I asked them for it.
And the thing with mushrooms, they all have very distinct flavor profiles, so you can cook them in different ways for different textures, but you can also use them as a flavoring component to bring in rich umami to any dish.
It's a lot of water.
It really does kind of deter your brain from what's happening.
Sandra had the lid on her blender today, so
No, heard that.
that was some drama from yesterday. We didn't need to repeat. We learned.
Try on error.
Yep,
There we go. That's my
Chef,
life.
how
Nailed
you
it.
feeling it?
Great.
good.
What's the time on the clock, Miles?
It looks like 23 minutes and 45 seconds. The thing with kitchens is there's always a problem. And so how do you work around the problem and create a solution?
Adapt and overcome, baby.
Yep. And
That's why it's a TV show.
Yep. Well, that's behind the scenes.
Not only is it a
reality,
TV show, but it is real life. When I worked in a kitchen, just as a grunt, like line cook, people are like, hey, do you see that new culinary show? It's like, no, honey, I don't want to watch people struggle inside of a kitchen when I live that for 18 hours a day.
100% can relate to that. Like, I don't need it in my house. I lived it all day.
I'm done with all those. You can take them. Yeah, I used everything on this.
That's a big thing for you, that they taste their food. You've been on that,
your
and you
food.
like things clean.
I like clean
you know what you
plates.
wanna
I like
see.
tasty food. I like excellence in each bite.
We've passed the halfway mark, but there's some tension. Chef Nicole's still got something not happening.
I
right
need fire. Is this my only source of fire? Do we have matches, lighters, anything? Is this my only source of fire?
Fire.
I need fire, matches, lighter.
There was a lighter there yesterday.
Does anybody have matches or a lighter?
Good, thank you. I just wanna light it.
Here, it needs butane.
Hey, we got it.
My girlfriends and I have a favorite saying, because especially as women sometimes, not only in the kitchen, but just in general, sometimes it's hard to speak up and say that you need something, but a closed mouth can't be fed. And you gotta say.
I like it.
You gotta say.
A closed mouth can't
I love
be
that
fed.
she's saying, I need this and getting it for herself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, she's smoking it in the pan. Interesting strategy. I respect it. Never seen that.
Yes, yes, baby, yes, baby.
Woo, okay. Okay, we like it.
Chef, you have fire now?
I got fire. Thank you.
So
So,
do you
yeah,
need
can
it?
you leave me that torch up there? That's
Yep.
perfect.
Chef Nicole, all you have to do is press the end.
Okay, thank you, thank you. You good, baby? You good?
Please make sure you guys are tasting what you're preparing today.
Time on the clock is 15 minutes and 28 seconds. But right now I'm gonna let them sit in their intensity for a little bit longer.
They've gone through 75% of their time. I don't see any plates on stations except for Chef Donald's. Correct me if I'm wrong. Do we have plates on
There
Chef
are
Nicole's station?
bowls, yep, there's bowls and plates.
I'm interested to see if they utilize what they have here, which is an empty station, to start to just like move things and set themselves up for success. I want to see them take ownership of this space.
I'm also noticing that I haven't seen a lot of preparation of our lion's mane.
Yes, yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, and that one takes a little bit of time.
must be seeing a lot of stress in that face of hers right now.
Wonder how many of our chefs, their friends and family are going to learn things about them they didn't know, because they don't get to see them in this high stress intensity environment. And so there's probably a lot of personality traits and characteristics that come out in a show like this that they never would have had access to before.
Well,
That's such a good point.
Josie and I have both done shows like this where we've been on the other side. You know, we've worked our way up to being on this side, and so to be over there, you do kind of lose some of the skills that you've learned in your career as a chef, and some of those do kind of go out the window when that pressure. And if you're not used to working around cameras,
oh wow, relatable.
When all of that goes into play, it really does kind of throw you for a loop at times. So,
and then when you're in the middle of that, you get people like me that are about to walk around and ask you questions.
Right. So you go and see if you can throw them on.
All right.
Oh, I see Nicole plating.
So how are things coming together?
I see a little call.
Great. I'm very happy.
Chef, how's it going over here?
It's going good. Yeah. Get in there. Yep.
Great.
Yep.
All the flavors coming together well?
Yep. Good.
How are things going in your corner?
Pretty good. I am starting to plate, and I'm feeling
Excellent.
good about that. Just doing some final tasting tweaks,
Excellent.
but feeling good.
You're already plating. You're the only person who's doing that right now.
That's
It
cool.
looks beautiful.
Thank you.
I'm looking forward to seeing beautiful plates today.
Thank you.
Chef,
Well-
how'd it go there?
Well, I'm seeing definitely people learn from yesterday. So we've already got plates that are coming up with
I see
attention
that.
to detail, and totally clean. I'm sure she'll wipe them down as well. And then Chef Donald back there is definitely tasting his food today. Nobody is extremely behind to where we're going to have to eat raw food again today.
That in itself is a plus. That in itself is a plus.
Yeah.
Feeling better about that as a judge? You know, are there any extra points if you finish early?
No.
I think Chef Sandra might be finishing early.
Finishing early doesn't
They
get
have
you
extra
anything.
time. They need to figure out
Yep.
how to utilize
How
it.
to,
'cause that
okay.
the shake, her placing, it's intense.
And here's where the tweezers come into handy.
Placing some
Wow,
asparagus.
you can see how much she cares.
Really elegant. You know, I don't envy these chefs. It's tough. Although, you know, I'm seeing a lot of calm coming from Chef Sandra, and I wonder if it's her finance background. With VegTech Invest, I spend a lot of time on Wall Street, and you gotta keep cool under pressure, and boy, is she doing that.
The only thing that I'm concerned about with her plate is it looks like the mushrooms are a side piece among all the other vegetables.
Something smells good in here. Wow, look at that, Chef Donald. Why don't I get to taste any of this food?
Oh, we'll save you a bite, honey. Don't worry.
Just hope that that pan isn't gonna go the wrong way.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
What's on that pan?
Starting to feel like we need a fire extinguisher in here.
Way to go, chefs. You've got less than 2 minutes left on the clock, so plating should all be done. Coming up soon.
It's a different level today. Everyone has something that's edible on a plate, and it's beautiful. They put attention to detail.
I love the lemon.
I wanted her to squeeze the lemon or zest it, and she's doing
Just made
that.
your dreams come true.
Yeah. Because it's going to cut the richness of that pasta that she's just made, and it's going to really bring out the flavor of those mushrooms as well.
I have to just say one thing is I'm concerned about, I hate when people scrape the pit, the white,
Yeah.
and then I'll be a little finicky about that.
Is there another grater, or is there only one?
60 seconds on the clock, chef.
There should be another one. Hello. What a conscious kitchen we have.
Nice complexity.
Every cook has to bring their own tools in, and
Yes.
the kitchen only has a certain amount of tools, and
Yes.
that's something that's a little bit complex here. So they're working together with people they don't know and are competing against.
Do you want to give them a reminder about a clean plate, or is that up to them? They've had enough
Today
reminders.
they know that
They know.
fingerprints matter. Like
They know what matters
yeah.
to Chef Miles.
Nobody wants to look at a plate and think about a fingerprint. Not anybody.
Fair enough. Wow. Here we go. Final
10 seconds to go, chefs. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time is up. Hands up. Step back. Stop. Step away from those stations. Done, chef. Nice job, chefs.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Wow. Great job, chefs.
Congratulations, chefs. We really appreciate and applaud your effort today for the Entree Course Challenge. Chefs, congratulations on finishing your Entree Course Challenge.
Yes.
That was absolutely beautiful to watch. Yes. But now it's time for your final taste test with the judges. Chef Nicole, please step forward.
So, Chef Nicole, can you tell us about what you did here today?
Yes. Okay, so you're a very special panel of judges, so I want to take you all on a date night. And this date night includes my version of surf and turf. To me, when you feed someone, you're saying, stay here with us, because you have to eat to sustain your life on the planet. So to me, feeding someone is the most loving act you can do.
On the mushrooms, it's almost like a barbecue to me.
That's what I'm going for.
Oh, awesome.
So we smoked it with cherry wood at the end to give it that kind of barbecue smokiness. And I just used the smoking gun and infused some smoke.
I was stoked that you pulled out the smoking
gun. Were you?
gun.
I was so excited. Thank you.
I can't say that I'm on board with the way these scallops are prepared. Sure. But I love this mash. The mash is really, really well done. It has loads of flavor. I would serve this over mashed potatoes any day.
I love this plate. I only have 2 slight remarks. I think that your puree was processed a little bit too much just because of the texture, and maybe just a little bit too much lemon, but I also love lemon.
The scallop I thought was a little, the bite was a little tough for me, and I wasn't on board with the capers on top of that. I took that as a complete bite with the capers and the scallop and the mash, and I felt like the capers were a little bit off for me. But everything else is a whole different level than yesterday.
Thank you, Chef.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Chef Nicole. I think what you really showed us today, and I finally got a bite in, is that surf and turf can truly be cruelty-free.
Yeah.
So thank you for that.
Yeah.
Chef Don, time to step up to the plate.
Hey, guys.
Hey, Chef Donald, can you tell us about what you did today?
Well, first of all, I have a real hearty and big appetite, so I tend to cook food from my restaurant that kind of like pleases myself. So with this dish here, we've got a hearty pearl couscous, cooked risotto style. I really love working with mushrooms, and these are like the lion's mane is nice and hearty and meaty texture to it. So I think that any of the carnivores would be pleased with this dish. Yeah.
Chef, this is very interesting and just worlds away from where you were in previous competitions. So
Yeah,
I'm so
I was
happy.
totally humiliated. I mean, last night I couldn't sleep in my head. I was thinking like how I could have did better and better.
Well, hopefully you can feel proud today.
Yeah, yeah,
Certainly I'm proud of you, just light years away from where you were in other competitions. For me, the mushrooms along the side aren't blending as much with the dish as a whole as I would like to see, but the jury's still out really because I'm still just eating. I've only made my way through the puree, so I'm still on the mushrooms.
Okay. Chef, first of all, I want to commend you on all of the work you do in the elementary schools here and what you take in and what you're trying to do from an early age in the education system is really, really vital work. So I know you said you were a little hard on yourself after leaving our last competition, but I want you to remember your true work is stemming so much further than just what you're doing in this competition. So be proud of that and know that you're doing some really, really, really important things. When it comes to the mushrooms, they lacked flavor for me. I liked the little bit of sear that you got on that lion's mane. The whole entire plate, in my opinion, needed some salt. And I think that would have really brought out some more of the flavors that you put in all of the different components that you gave us today.
Well, thank you.
Thank you, Chef Donald.
Beautiful display.
Chef Sandra, please step forward.
Chef Sandra, can you please tell us what you did today?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Chef Nicole mentioned it. Cooking is all about love, and I wanted to infuse this plate with a lot of love and what I love to eat.
Well, I love that you have the pasta and the mushrooms hold up to the pasta, but I'm a little concerned about the presentation. It's kind of all piled up on top of each other, so it's not coming across, I think, perhaps as beautifully as it could. But I do love what I'm getting with the lemon and the onion, so it's a very interesting dish with a lot of depth, but I'm still kind of working through in my head if it works together.
Okay.
Chef Sandra, I think that what you were going after here was really thoughtful, and it's just slightly dry for my taste.
Yeah.
Even having set just a little bit, it still could have used just a little bit more, because mixing it up, it's just barely coated the noodles. I would have loved, again, a pinch more salt in that pasta sauce.
Oh, really? Okay.
I saw you salt your pasta water. Yes. But maybe if we added a little bit more of that pasta water to kind of bring that sauce together, it would have salted it up just a little bit more and got us exactly where we needed to be. Chef Josie and I are not finding the lion's mane in our dish.
Yeah, do you guys have lion's
they are
mane?
Everywhere. They definitely are on each plate.
Lion's manes are the
they
little
were cooked
white
with the
furry
tomatoes,
ones, right?
Yeah, and I cut them in strips.
Oh, okay.
So they are
this is
cut in strips.
It's like the shreds here. I personally love the creamy pasta dish, like Chris said, and I do want to piggyback on a couple things that he said about the texture of the oyster mushrooms here. And also, I'm not getting a lot of flavor from these ones, but the other mushrooms, they are marinated. But other than that, I think you did a great job.
Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Thank
Chef.
you so much.
Thank you so much, Chef Sandra. You can step back. But I think what you really proved to us today after tasting your plate is that you've given inspiration to new vegans and people that are dabbling in plant-based cooking that this can actually be done easy and in 45 minutes or less. But thank you, all chefs. You've definitely done a wonderful job with this entree course challenge. And you've definitely given the judges a lot to deliberate about. So I think it's time for you to leave the kitchen.
Why don't you come with me as the judges deliberate?
Thank you, Chef.
back.
Thank you,
Thank you so
much.
much.
Thank you, chefs.
You made our work hard.
Hi, I am Chef Babette from Stuff I Eat, and I'm here today with Dr. Miles Woodruff. He is the CEO of Sophie's Kitchen, and today we are going to learn about mushrooms. Give us a little lesson, Doc.
Yeah. So if you use a trumpet, you can cut those up and make scallops, or you can make a chicken if you cut it long ways. For the lion's mane, you can make a lobster flavored, textured mushroom dish. With the maitake, you can really make like a deep fried chicken texture that's really nice. With the oyster mushrooms, you can really bring a beefy, chickeny pork flavor when you shred it. You can, in any of these, you just you flavor it and season it like you would the protein, and you'll end up with something really fantastic.
I love it. Yeah. Thank you, baby.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. So today was a lot less obvious than yesterday, in that everyone had time to put together the dish. And I think that today It's maybe an unfair comparison to yesterday's event in that there was so much time to like really pay attention to detail, and I'm not certain that that time was used well by all of the chefs. So I enjoyed some of the plates and some of the components of everyone's plate, but I didn't enjoy a totality of any one plate. So I felt like Chef Donald's mushrooms weren't seasoned. I felt they were sitting limp on the dish, and that was unfortunate. I really enjoyed the spice in his couscous.
And I don't understand the salt thing. Somebody got an issue.
Somebody needs a lot. One of the judges likes a lot of salt.
Yeah.
I noticed that.
Maybe I will, but we don't know which plate is
I don't know which plate he's gonna get, or I'd customize his.
I gotta tell you, when it came to Chef Donald, I was so intrigued to what he was doing because he had so many things going on over there. And this is a seasoned, highly regarded chef here in Las Vegas who has so many, you know, highly respected clients that come to his restaurant on a daily basis.
I personally thought that your dish was so colorful and so delicious.
That dish,
I loved it.
That dish was delicious.
Only tasted the couscous part, but it was beautiful.
So we're seeing a plate of food that's being delivered with all of these elements, and none of those elements are executed to their full potential. So, like you said, Miles, we're missing seasoning almost on every single layer of his dish, and it kind of just made the entire dish fall flat.
I felt that two of the dishes just didn't come together. I like the individual ingredients, but they weren't happening as a whole, and one person really stands out for me.
I mean, you know, I was really frustrated with the burner not going on at first. And
that was horrible.
that was hard because I knew, this is the first thing I did because I knew it was gonna take a while to boil that cauliflower to make it soft enough to turn into potato.
Turn into the potato, right.
So I was worried because I was trying to think of what my backup plan would be, and honestly, I was like,
It's just the stress of the moment, and some people don't show up on tests like they do in every other day life.
And I think the cameras and just the stress of this competition.
About the burners and the issue you encountered, I had the same one with the left and the right burner, only having like the middle working. And I figured out, it looked like some of the pan were not working with the burners.
That's what's happening.
When I switched the pan, all of a sudden it started, because it's induction.
Like a certain pan.
Yeah, it's induction, so a couple of them were not working with those burners.
Yeah, you know, when it comes to like Nicole's dish, for instance, she kind of sold us this story of a surf and turf, right? But then when I started going through the different elements of her dish, she had some really beautiful flavors in there. Some of the bites were incredible, but where I will push back on her every single time is that scallop that she tried to serve us with a white wine butter sauce and capers and all of this. I tasted none of those flavors. We're seeing all of these things going on, but the execution to the final product isn't there.
You're all winners. I'm gonna hate to see any one of you go. I've fallen in love with all of you.
So, no, not.
Maybe it was just.
Did you get a white wine sauce on
I
yours?
wish she had never said surf
I got a
and
white
turf.
wine sauce. I got
surf and
dill.
turf didn't belong in association with
You
that dish.
people are mean.
That's not mean. It's just the way it is.
You know what? We're here to make we're here to make these chefs grow and to
Right.
get better and to maybe increase your palate at the same time.
Yeah.
Okay, and Chef Nicole did that for me. Chef Nicole did that for me because she
Right.
brought on glaze with mushrooms. I did not think that was possible. But okay, I'm worried that judges, we might not agree. Judges, what are we
Yep.
gonna do? Can we come to an agreement?
We're gonna have to because
I
one
mean,
of these people
we're
have
gonna
to get
come to a
peeled.
vote because I don't think we're going to come to an agreement.
Okay, so I am not agreeing with you folks, but I think we know who's not gonna stay.
Chefs, the judges have evaluated your entree dishes to determine who will move forward in the competition and who will be eliminated. Your dishes were evaluated for technique, transformation, creativity, presentation, and of course, taste. Please pick up the wooden box on your cutting board and reveal what is inside. I'm sorry, Chef Don. That means you are eliminated and have been peeled to the compost.
I can't say that I'm a little bit disappointed, but I must say I had an awesome experience and I wouldn't trade it for the world. I really picked up some really great friends here that I know it's going to last forever, and I just had an awesome time, and I really appreciate it for you guys inviting me, and and it's the first time I've done something like this, and it's just more learning experience. And all right, so.
I know. Chef Miles, could you explain to us what it was about Chef Don's entree that led you to your decisions?
Well, there was a lack of seasoning, I think, was probably the core of it. And for me, knowing your food, knowing your restaurant, I think it's just tests. Some people thrive under the pressure of tests and some don't. None of this reflects in the food I've ever eaten at your restaurant. It's always been an amazing experience. We've all enjoyed eating there. And so it was very hard for me to make this choice as well, knowing you and knowing how amazing your food is.
Chef Donald, we really appreciate all that you do for the community, and I also have to say your restaurant is my favorite vegan restaurant in Las Vegas. So thank you for providing us with such amazing cuisine, and thank you so much for being here.
And thank you for giving me the opportunity.
Please know it was incredibly hard.
Chef Don, I don't want to be a sounding board of all the judges here, but you definitely have an exceptional amount of talent, and we are all incredibly sad to see you go. We know the caliber and quality of work that you do with Veggie Nation, and even more so what you do for future generations of kids in this country. And that is what makes you a winner in our books. I think for all of us, we're very proud of you, and you have a very, very, very bright future ahead. However, it's time to grab your peeler because you've been peeled to the compost. Thank you, Chef. I said it, I just added it.
Thank you so very much for your presence here today, and all of us would like to congratulate you for your excellence in this. This has just been amazing, and believe it or not, I want to eat everything y'all made. We just love you both so much, and thank you. We know you're going to be terrific for the next challenge.
Thank you, Chef, so much. We really applaud your efforts and showing us that females really do deserve a place here in the kitchen, aside from meat and men. But given that, it's time for you guys to go ahead and leave the kitchen.
Great job, guys.
Well done, Chef.
What I can say is that I'm going to be expecting a lot out of our remaining chefs in the next challenge because it's the dessert challenge. And so the bar is going to be extremely high for me. And I can't wait to see what they bring.
This was already so tough, and it's only going to get tougher. We've got two incredible females in the kitchen, and I know they're going to bring it. So I don't know how we're going to make a decision in the end. It's really, really tight.
I'm looking forward to seeing how we take all of this energy and put it into these next two dishes, which are dessert dishes. So it's a different style. It's going to incorporate different skills that we haven't even seen a touch of yet.
Exactly.
I mean, frankly, I am a little disappointed, but it was the first time I went through an experience like this. But it was really awesome. I mean, it was a great learning experience, and I got to work with some great people.
Donald was on point with every single dish, and I tasted that mushroom dish. It tasted awesome to me. So I just was not in agreement with their decision to let him go.
I mean, I think there was the best three chefs were tackling that challenge.
Yes.
I love that Chef Sandra actually made us a plate, and we got to nibble on that a little bit. So
but I tasted his, and it was out of sight. Trust.
To each chef their own, then.
To each chef their own.
Compassion for the animals. It's great for your health. It's great for the environment. And the more people that go, the better our planet's going to be.
Next on Peeled, only 2 chefs remain. Who will win a donation for their charity? Whose dish will be featured on the menu of Copper Branch restaurants? Who will win a trip to Costa Rica? And who will be named hottest vegan chef? Find out on the finale of Peeled, airing on Unchained TV and PeeledShow.com.